Former Greenfield area pastor Jim Blaine will spend 5 days in jail for violating the conditions of his bond set in Highland County Common Pleas Court. Blaine, who is facing a 17-count indictment for allegedly stealing more than $100,000 from the Good Shepherd Church in Greenfield, where he formerly was pastor, was released on $25,000 bond last week. The bond had been reduced by Highland County Common Pleas Court Judge Rocky Coss from $100,000. Highland County Prosecutor Jim Blaine said his office had received reports that Blaine had been seen in Washington Courthouse and around the Greenfield area on outings not approved by the court.
As far as the going to Washington Courthouse, he did go to church. My client informs me he did check in with the officer.
I was told to call before I left the house each time and call when I got back. And I've done that because the 3 times I've got home, I've done that.
I don't believe that home detention is necessary. I don't feel these are violations. If the court feels they are, I feel they're very, very minimal.
Coss said that there were conditions that went with that bond, which Blaine was ordered to follow.
It's real important for you to understand that you're not leading a normal life right now. If you want to be out of jail, and I set a reasonable bond, you may. But I set it with conditions. And I have made this comment to other people before, including attorneys, who have ignored what I put in orders. And that is this: when I issue an order, it's not a request, it's not a suggestion, it's not a recommendation. It's an order. And I require in this court absolute obedience to my orders. And I don't tolerate people who are trying to stretch those or push beyond them. Now, Mr. Breeden, you were not asked for permission to go to church by Mr. Defendant, by Mr. Blaine, is that correct?
No, Your Honor. During the initial intake, he had asked the church and brought up the non-member. I told him he'd have to contact his attorney, and that would have to go through his attorney in the court.
Coss told Blaine that he was in violation of his bond and that he could either spend 5 days in jail or pay for home electronic monitoring. Blaine said he did not have the funds to pay for electronic monitoring, and he was remanded to the custody of the Highland County Sheriff's Office.